China is preparing to host a gathering of the world's 20 most powerful economies in Hangzhou in early September. Countries will explore new ways to drive development and energize the global economy. Better coordination and communication is key, according to Farrell Contractor, a distinguished professor from Rutgers Business School.
Globalization is today under attack, and it's very unfortunate because globalization has been the vehicle by which literally 1 billion people have been lifted out of poverty in the last 15 years into a middle-class status. Now, the problem with globalization is that the benefits are not equally distributed, but the benefits vastly outweigh the costs of globalization. So to communicate the idea that globalization is good, that foreign direct investment, trade, etc., are on average good things, is a task that the leaders should take up and communicate.
At the upcoming summit, China vows to work with other G20 members to develop policies that will build an innovative global economy.
To encourage innovation, what governments can do is give tax incentives. They could be targeted for certain technical areas where a company is allowed to deduct research expenses immediately, for example. Innovation can be promoted by a fund created by the G20 that assists companies in different G20 countries to form R&D joint venture alliances. At the same time, if there's an articulation of better protection of IP or intellectual property, that would encourage research alliances across countries. And finally, a fund that would target specific areas, for example, nanotechnology, where prizes of the order of $10 million or more given to top scientists, like a Nobel Prize, a Super Nobel Prize, with the condition that then the scientists spend a month each year in certain labs for 5 years, as an example, would again encourage the dissemination of technical knowledge and information.
The world's economy is in an unstable place in terms of very low or negative interest rates. The liquidity trap exists where new injections of central bank cash do little to stimulate the economy. Professor Contractor suggests jointly increasing interest rates.
Greater coordination in terms of jointly raising interest rates would mean that the currency markets would be less affected. Now, that's a role that the G20 can play. Maybe this is a dream, maybe this is asking too much, but better coordination between the central banks in terms of getting away from this trap of unhealthy low or zero interest rates would be a good thing. Because very low interest rates have created asset bubbles in stock markets around the world, in real estate markets around the world. So the time will come, and people already see the necessity of getting away from this zero interest rate trap into something more normal.